Hey guys, Joel's back with another reasoning session where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church by diving deep into the ancient scriptures, uncovering meanings glossed over by translations over the ages, really cutting to the core of the metaphysical applications of this historical text and applying it practically to situations in our present day. And today I'm going to be talking about how no matter how long it looks like sources delaying divine justice, we mustn't feel doubtful because it is sure.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But before I begin, I gotta say, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more, because as we move forward, we need to have a sure foundation of what kind of paradigm we're building this new world on. And it's not gonna come from the religious institutions because they've been squatting on this gold mine for generations. And look where it's gotten society. I mean, you know probably as well as I do, you've been to a service or something, and for a whole hour sermon, they might just read one or two verses and basically just repeat what it says without diving deep. But it's only by diving deep that we can really uncover those real meanings that are within the nature of source. But with that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it. A couple verses today. The first one comes from the Oracles of Malachi, or Malachi as it's sometimes called in English. The word literally means my messenger, and there's some debate amongst scholars whether that was the guy's actual real name or whether it was just a title. Some scholars even claim that the guy that wrote this was Ezra. But I'm not going to get into that debate today. I'm just going to read one verse here. He says, "You have wearied Yahweh with your words, yet you say, wherein have we wearied? When you say, everyone that does evil is good in the sight of Yahweh, and he delights in them. Or, where is the God of judgment?" So there again, that's just exemplifying that doubt that we might have inside of us when time delays, and it doesn't seem like justice is being served on the people that have planned real evil for humanity. And those of us with eyes to see can literally see that it's unprecedented what they're trying to roll out on us. But let's not be dismayed, because the nature of source is that principle of seed time and harvest. What you put out is what you get back, and that is embodied in the name Yahweh. I stress this all the time because it's been glossed over by translations. When you read the text, English translations and subsequent other, all these translations translate that name or that principle that's embodied in the term Yahweh as Lord in all caps. Well, Lord doesn't mean the same thing as what you put out is what you get back, and therefore a lot of people equate either Lord or Lord God or God as the same thing, but it's very specific when each of these words are being used, and when we understand that, we realize that yes, source is divine love. Source is absolute truth. But whatever people put out is whatever they reap. And that is embodied in the term Jehovah or Yahweh or Lord in all caps. You know, all these translations are sanctioned by you-know-who. So let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, because really, this is a gold mine. And that principle of justice is always sure. Let's have a look at the Oracles of Tophania, where he says, "And it shall come to pass at that time that I, Yahweh, will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil." And of course, Jerusalem, while it refers to the literal city, it also refers to home base, wherever we as a community of light workers or truthers actually feel most secure, and where we have our domain. Even that will be searched out by candles, because you can't hide in the dark from source. And Yahweh is not indifferent to either good nor evil. Therefore, he continues, "Their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof." So everything they've laid up for themselves, we as sovereigns will inherit, because they've not only robbed our trust fund, but they've robbed the trusts of those before us. And their whole system, currency is a system based in debt. And that's why they've transubstantiated our souls into gold, because that value is our own inheritance. It's our legacy. And that's our birthright. but they're running a system based on debt, and the people with the biggest bank accounts actually have the most debt accrued against the humanity that they've impoverished, that they've sodomized, that they've monopolized on for all generations past, through the Inquisition, through all of that stuff. When we rise up as sovereigns, we reclaim that authority. We reclaim that inheritance. And that justice is inevitable. But it begins by us enforcing it in the causal realm. We have to stand up, not physically, because that's pretty near impossible, but in the causal realm, we bring our supplication before the courts of heaven, and then we will see the day of judgment, the day of Yahweh. As he continues, the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hastes greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man, shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And that's word for word almost the same as the passage in the Oracles of Joel. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh. You know, don't get distracted as if they've sinned against the Lord or some kind of personification of source. This is the self-existing one, the cycle of divine justice that is embodied in the principle that we as humans understand as what you put out is what you get back. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. This is talking about the evildoers that have sown seeds for this kind of harvest. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So don't be discouraged, guys, because as we traverse this time warp, there's a little bit of lag between what we put out in the causal realm and when we see that harvest reaped in the physical. But it is inevitable as long as we don't change our course and sow those seeds of doubt in the meantime along our way to the end goal. Source is sure. Source is more absolute than anything in this physical dimension, including our body suits and our physical experiences of life. So when we tap into that heart space and manifest through intent, we can literally create as the breath of Elohim Creator manifests through us through the spoken word, through that inner state of being. And that is how the kingdom of heaven is downloaded and made manifest in our physical life experiences, in the world around us, and literally creating those ripples that can rock the boats of those around us, that can rock society, and literally become strong enough to capsize these institutions and edifices that have monopolized on humanity's true power. Once we awaken to that true power within us, we are the agents in place for the kingdom of heaven to actually enforce the divine will here on earth. So tap in and know that Source has got this. I love you guys. I'll check you in another reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. Shalom.